So as a faculty member, you can't just decide I'm going to use McGraw-Hill Connect or Pearson My Math Labs. You would need to run that by the IT department to make sure that those products are compatible with their IT systems.
There are often options that enable individual faculty member to make a local adoption, but then that particular product will not be integrated in. So you have to have separate logins. The grades that are received there may not automatically flow back into the grade book of the class and then ultimately to the registrar system. Those kinds of enhancements often will drive the faculty to not just maybe start out experimenting. And higher ed loves innovation. They love experimenting, but ultimately there is a shift towards a central approach towards many of these kinds of solutions.
Interesting.
So if you're an early stage company, it can be very advantageous to recruit faculty from a single institution and try to get, say, a dozen or so using your technology, and then go to that administration, to David's point, the provost or the CIO, and ask them to enable that technology and the license relationship more broadly. Because then your sale is more of an adoption. It isn't necessarily getting the faculty member to make a case for you or go themselves to the IT organization and ask them to turn on technologies. Most faculty don't understand how integration agents work on LMS platforms or what needs to happen to be able to have a tool available to them. But if you can do the hard work up front to get a relationship with the school, one of the things that can be prerequisite to that is demonstrating to that school that there's interest among the faculty in a department or a college to use that kind of tool. And so you really have to press on both fronts. You have to recruit the individual faculty to be your users and ultimately your champions. At the same time, you have to be working with the institution to enable that technology to be available in a more broad-based way and to ease your sales and adoption efforts down the road.
And it expands beyond just that single adoption. Often the way in which higher education learns about technology is they go to conferences and they have their peers and they find out what are you doing, what's new, what's working, what is getting good adoption and good efficacy from your faculty. But often they will actually focus that in on, let's look at organizations that are like us technology-wise, so that I know that technology won't be a barrier, so that once you get a good institution with a given kind of local course management system, then other users of that course management system will hear about it at that local conference, and that'll spread. So central technology-driven adoption is a wonderful way of scaling.
Yeah, it's interesting. We've experienced this to some extent as researchers in that some of the studies that we have wanted to conduct for the Postsecondary Teaching with Technology Collaborative involved specific technologies with specific affordances. And so we wanted to understand how those affordances were impacting students in those classrooms. And we very quickly found that faculty were not interested in doing tests with technologies that were not already supported by their IT departments. They wanted to make sure that they could integrate with the learning management system, that if they had technical issues or students had technical issues, that there was somebody they could turn to on campus. So I think your point about needing to have central support or buy-in from the CIO and that unit, that really resonates.
Yeah. But I want to say, though, many institutions are willing to innovate and adopt new technology. So while it is important to have a connection and interoperability with these central components, it doesn't mean that you are shut out from introducing new ideas, because both faculty, chief academic officers, CIOs, they want to be on the cutting edge. They want to do what's best for the students and what's new and what is based on the research that's out there today. So that innovation will help you drive adoption too.